My fellow Flames of Amethyst, we have new lore for Camellya. We have information regarding Camellya as a character, to do with her abilities, what she can do, her involvement in the story of 1.4, and essentially hidden details that we didn't have prior, so we're going to cover it today. So if you enjoy this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. Now, it appears that every time that we have news, I've either got out of the shower, washed my hair, or I've been caught in the rain or something, because my hair yet again is wet, curly, and just a mess. So forgive me, but here we have the information about Camellya. I don't know what this is going to have, but essentially lots of information about Camellya's lore, about who she is, and her involvement in the story, I presume. Here is the splash art, the Bloom Bearer Camellya. One of the best splash arts in the entire game. If I can save this image, I probably will and use it in a thumbnail in the future. Another look at Camellya, the story about Camellya. Okay, the Bloom Bearer's trial. With a sigh, one of the Black Shore's gardeners flies away Camellya's latest report. This Bloom Bearer, who seems to handle everything absent-mindedly, is tasked with selecting new recruits. But her approval rate is shockingly low compared to fellow recruiters. Those who fail her trials rarely ever dare to return for a second attempt. So, are we sending her again? Yes. The ones she brings in are tough enough for the most dangerous missions. We can always use more recruits like them. So basically, terrible voice acting, by the way, I wasn't prepared, forgive me. So basically, she brings in recruits, and the ones that pass her trials are usually among the most useful and powerful because of how intense her trials are. These literally just sound like the Witcher trials. To become members of the Black Shores and to be a Bloom Bearer, or to be accepted into the Black Shores, then you need to go through certain trials that seem to be, in Camellya's case, extremely difficult depending on who is testing you. Phototropism? In the quiet forest depths, vines entwine to form a lofty web high in the trees. Camellya hangs upside down, a vine gently curling around her ankle as she plucks a plum, ripe berry. This is literally mirroring what this image is here. So I'm guessing this is sort of showing you. This must be the tree. This must be where she's hanging from. Okay. She bites into it, relishing the cool sweetness that floods her tongue. Sunlight filters through the canopy, warming her body and nourishing the surrounding plants. She smiles innocently in satisfaction. Perfect prey, or perhaps the predator. Okay, so that was a little bit seductive, the way they've written that. Okay, I quite like that. Just describing, I get essentially her movement, and I guess just giving a little bit of insight of what her personality is. Hard to please. Camellya has always been hard to please. Intellect, composure, intrigue. If her opponent lacks any of these, she loses interest immediately. No matter how much effort she puts into the fight, once the excitement dies, she walks away without a second thought. Sunk cost, she chuckles, wagging her finger. Wasting time on boring people should be a crime. Okay, this is it's quite a hot little bit of a dialogue that she's got here. So yeah, she needs to be amused, she needs to be entertained, otherwise she's either probably going to kill you, or just walk away, or do something that's going to amuse her more, or talk to someone that's going to please or amuse her more. The melody. Camellya often hums a certain tune while zoning out, a habit she only noticed after a colleague pointed it out. She noted the melody, trying to remember where she had heard it, but nothing came to mind. Not at the Black Shores or anywhere else on Solaris 3. Yet, each time the notes slip past her lips, she experiences a strange sense of peace, like a brief escape from the mundane. Okay, so this is probably something to do with her past. She's humming this melody because I'm guessing whether she's had something traumatic happen in her past, or something that has happened to her in her life. So obviously in the trailer we saw that she has like a blue head form. People are saying that was her before she became Camellya, that we know. So maybe this humming melody that eases her mind and eases her soul and her being connects to who she maybe once was before the Black Shores. Who knows? We'll find out probably in the story. Resonance Evaluation Report. Name, Camellya. Birthplace, unknown. Tacit mark location, chest. Resonance spectrum pattern. Camellya's resonance spectrum pattern closely resembles that of a camellia flower, displaying a strong syntony reaction. However, the cause of Camellya's awakening remains unclear since no object that matches the changes in her resonance spectrum pattern has been found. The initial phase of Rebel's curve displays multiple irregular fluctuations. Once Rebel's curve surpasses critically blank. So there's going to be more. So when we actually, if you have this character and you have Camellya, the more you play with her, and the more that you, her friendship and her companion level goes up, more will be revealed. But this is interesting. Something to do with the phase of Rebel's curve. So this is probably something to do with her awakening. So obviously we saw her blue head state, and I'm guessing when she awakened, that's when we see this version of Camellya. It says here, this subject is suspected to be an artificial resonator. However, the current curve pattern doesn't match with any known samples. Therefore, this report is sealed for now. Interesting. Okay, so apparently she's an artificial resonator. I don't know what that means. Maybe she's not a real person. Maybe she's been fabricated by scientists or another group. Maybe the Fractidus have something to do with it. Maybe the Threnodian does. Maybe the Sentinels do. We genuinely don't know at this point in time. But that's a very key point of information. It's not only highlighted red, it also is very vague. And I'm guessing that is on purpose. But now we have her overclock diagnostic report. Now, in the trailer, this is a keynote, she says when serious or when overclocking symptoms start to occur, there's no permanent cure. Yuan Wu is one of the people that have basically defied that because he showed severe overclocking symptoms. And he in fact did overclock due to a personal loss in his life. However, he basically brought himself out of it and he recovered from it. And not many people know how, because realistically, it is clear to us that overclocking is a disease that only resonators have, and it can't be cured by any medical reasons. You know, that I don't think it could be medically cured. So whatever Yuan Wu has done, he seems to be the only person that has ever done that, based on my knowledge and based on the knowledge of overclocking. So bear that in mind. Resonator Camellya's frequency displays extremely low stability, with a high risk of overclocking. Conclusion: regular physical examinations are mandatory, and scheduled compulsory intervention is required given the minimal efficiency. Efficacy, or I can't read that word, forgive me, of psychological counseling. So essentially, she, for whatever reason, might be her mental state, her physical state, or trauma-based, or basically something to do with her awakening and her resonance ability and her mind and her psychological state is causing her to constantly be on the brink of overclocking. Now, in the trailer, we also saw that when Camellya herself was saying when severe overclocking symptoms occur, there's no cure. That's when the red-haired version comes out of the water and basically smiles like deviously, and this version of Camellya, like the base form, quote-unquote, looks shocked and surprised. So maybe there is a split personality here, and maybe the red-headed Camellya is something or someone else, another personality or another being within her, and maybe when she overclocks, that secondary form, the alternate form, is proof of an overclocking. And maybe that has something to do with why she's constantly on the brink, because if her mind and her psychological state is unbalanced, then maybe that is also something to do with it. Maybe split personality, or maybe something to do with this alternate form has a heavy effect on what's going on here. Quite interesting though, very interesting. Her appearance, are going to be describing her appearance: playful and carefree. Found you. That's one of the lines that she says in the story. Camellya's playful voice echoes through the trees as she leaps off of a tree branch, tossing the flower in her hand aside, studying the person in front of her, which with narrow eyes. Her lips curl into a mischievous smile, as if she has just discovered her next toy. Now, this, I believe, is describing Rover. I believe this is this is her discovering Rover, and this is basically her to Rover. But everything about her is very seductive, very playful. There seems to be another agenda that we don't quite know, whether that agenda is for the Black Shores or for her own self-gratification or her own self-interest. We don't know yet. Connection to nature. Like plants, Camellya thrives in the warmth of the sunlight. She enjoys humming quiet melodies as she plays with vines and flowers, weaving them into decorations. Twisting vines frame her hair like ribbons, while a vibrant camellia adorns the middle of her chest. That's the camellia flower in her chest. So where her tacit mark is, the petals coming out of it is an actual camellia flower. Her transformation. Okay, we're going to learn about her transformation. Very nice. Sugoi. When Camellya unleashes her resonance power, her hair transforms into a vibrant red. The vines and flowers on her body burst into life, growing in all directions. Powerful and dangerous, she eagerly awaits a thrilling game. It's like her personality does change when this happens. Look, it genuinely does appear to be that way. The transformation looks really, really cool, and the fact that she has an install super which allows her to transform is something that I'm attracted to as well. Anecdotes. Cherished items. Oh no. No. She hasn't got one of those dolls. She hasn't got a voodoo doll of Rover. No. She's got voodoo dolls, guys. An intricately carved wooden doll shaped in Rover's likeness and crafted from the roots created by Camellya's forte. It reflects her unique aesthetic. Before their reunion in Jinzhou, Camellya had made countless attempts to sculpt the doll's face, each attempt leading to frustration as she could never quite perfect the final stroke. Now, after all the vague attempts and disappointments, her vision has finally come to life. As she gazes upon her creation, she can't help but chuckle. So, this is what it was meant to be like, she thought. Just as adorable as I imagined. Why has she got a voodoo doll? Is it just a weird psycho obsession? Probably, actually. Interesting. Camellya's ideals. Pick the best scenes, protect them till they're ripe. Then comes the fun. I'll have worthy opponents to fight. I don't care about the rest. We'll all die one day. Might as well dance and live it up while we can. Responsibility? Ideals? Those are just lies we tell ourselves to feel better. Nothing but a false high. Okay. She really doesn't give a shit. She's like, I'm living once, I'm living it to the fullest, whether it's for good reasons, bad reasons, or both. Camellya's hobby. Napping in the sun on a warm afternoon is so cozy. I just need to find a quiet place, sleeping in the warmth, nestled among branches and leaves. Okay. Thoughts. My mind grows numb with monotony. For the past decade or so, I handle exciting jobs sometimes, but the fun soon dries up, like tidal marks on the shoal. But you are the only one who keeps me on my toes, so of course I'd be paying attention to you. Okay, so basically everything around her and everything in her life is boring, and the only thing that interests her and keeps her sort of entertained and excited is Rover. Idle animations. Okay, so these are signs of her overclocking. So these are signs of her overclocking. So as you can see, she's holding her mind. She's fizzling out, and she seems to be out of it. And then from the camellia flower in her chest, it booms resonance energy, which is sort of to do with her resonance power in itself. And this goes to show that she's either going to snap at some point, or she's going to die, or something basically important is going to happen, because this isn't good. If a resonator starts acting like this could have many different side effects. They could snap and go basically berserk and cause harm to themselves and others, or they could die, or they could just basically go into a comatized state because of exhaustion. So we don't exactly know where Camellya is going to go with this overclocking, but I hope and I'm sure we're going to find out when she releases on November 14th. The character menu. Okay, so that's her character menu idle animation. So obviously when you open the menu, it's very cute, very sweet, very, very nice, very sexy. The convene animation. Her convene animations look insane. Her convene animations look genuinely really, really nice. This has been all over YouTube. Obviously there's her normal state, and then this is signifying her transformation state. And then her eyes change, her hair changes, and there she is in her awakened, transformed state. Very cool. Her Resonance Liberation, as people are calling it, the Titty Shot Ultimate, where she basically puts a certain level of resonance into her chest, in the camellia in her chest, and it explodes, dealing AoE Resonance Liberation damage. And then finally, there's the long shot of Camellya. This is really nice. This could be like a phone background. I can't save the image. I'll save the image. Yeah, go on. Save the image. But there you go. That's Camellya. That is everything we have to do with Camellya. Everything from her lore to who she is as a person, to the reason she's overclocking, to her likes and dislikes, to her abilities, to her aesthetics, to her just everything about Camellya. This was basically just talking about Camellya and basically giving you insight to her lore. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This character is actually very interesting. I'm very, 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 very interested in her in her overclocking lore, because that is what is actually interesting me, because I want to know why she's overclocking. I want to know what's leading her to overclock. I want to know why she's got this split personality, which is what it looks like, and I want to see how that is going to seriously affect her as a character and affect people around her, like Rover, Shorekeeper, the Black Shores as a whole. I like the fact that we saw basically, as a bloom bearer and as a recruiter, her trials are so difficult that not many people can come back and attempt them a second time, either because they're scared, injured, or otherwise, or killed or dead. Yeah, so we don't actually know any more about that, but that's really interesting to me. So yeah, I'm going to be summoning for her when she releases, so look out for that summoning video. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.